Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Tutor Janelle. Welcome to PSLE Mathematics Hub. Have you ever wondered how do students solve some of the 4-5 marks questions that happen to appear in the SA2 for P5 top school paper and also in the PSLE 4 and 5 marks question? How do they actually solve them in 5 minutes or under 5 minutes? And let us just go through another challenging questions today. I hope this will help you all to have a new insight on how to actually solve mathematics questions that are really difficult. Let us move into the question. Thank you. Okay, let's go into this question. So this question we are going through number pattern. So in this number pattern question, we have normally you have a few figure, and then normally it's quite easy for the first part and the second part because they will normally ask you to write down what is the number for, let's say, here. So some students maybe who do not know how to use anthem, the most common method that I will see is that people start listing now. So if it's, let's say, figure 1 to figure 10 or even up to 8, I think still can list down. And as you can see behind, they will start asking you questions like, oh, figure 50, figure 99, figure 109. Then that kind, if you don't know anthem, cannot do. So for a start, right, can you all see how to do for this one? I think this one is quite clear, right? What is the changes from here to here for the number of sticks? We do the easier one first. So what I always tell my students is don't get frightened up by the question. Maybe you try and do whatever you can do first. So at least you don't get so intimidated and then start to panic like, oh, I think this question I cannot do at all. Then you don't try and then you don't get any method mark at all. So you try and do something. So in this case, I can actually see that for this one, it's quite easy, right? It's a constant change of 7. So it's plus 7 and then plus 7 and then plus 7. So this one I can easily get my 1 mark by plusing 7 and I get 29. This one is quite easy. Then what about if I have pattern figure number 8? So we have to always try to see, for let's say in this case I'm finding a number of square. So if I'm finding number of square, my first thing that I need to link is that what is the link between my number of square and the figure number. Always try to think in this way. If I'm finding square, I link the square and the figure number. So you can see that the figure number and the number of square here is directly the same. So means I don't need to think as no-brainer is going to be 8. So moving on to the next one. So I also need to think for the triangle. So since I'm thinking of triangle now, I also have to think what is the link between the triangle and the figure number. So what we actually need to know is, in this case, right, our figure number, this is 1, this is 2. Then the second one, I have this is 2, this is 4. Then this is 3, this is 6. So you can see that it's 2 times. So it's pretty clear that this is going to be like 2 times, right? So meaning here it will be actually 16. Am I correct or not? So this one is still considered the easy one. Then what about the next one? So the next one, we have the green color one, which is our parameter, and then the figure number. Also, we have to try to see the linkage between the parameter and also the figure. Then we can see that this one maybe is not so clear, because as you can see, the first one is 1 for figure number 1, and then there's a second one that we have the, where's that? The second one that we actually get here is actually 10. So you don't see that there's a direct linkage. And then second one is like, third one is 3 and stuff. So if I cannot find the direct linkage here, maybe what I can do is I find the linkage vertically down the row. So what you can see here is plus 4, and then here is plus 4. Then some people, they will have a problem like, oh, so means I also still have to list because in this case I need to find pattern 8. So does it mean that I list 5, 7, 8, 9? Yeah, you can for 8 because it's still considered quite near to 4, right? But for, let's say, 50, then you cannot. So what I would suggest is that there's a faster way to actually do it, which is anthem. So for this one, right, you can see that the change is constant, 4, 4, 4. So means, right, as long as you have a constant change, I can straight away link it with the anthem. Anthem is normally means like we let the figure number be n. So when we have n term, when we actually do a n term, right? Let me create some space for myself. If we actually do a n term, means that we are letting the figure number be n. So let me write here, let figure number be n. So if I let the figure number be n, so we will have 4n here, and then this one here for 7, I can straight away say that this is 7n. Yeah, but the thing is, the behind one is the important one. You must be able to see what do you put behind this other than 4n, and then we can tell that, like for example, if I look at figure 1 here, 4n means 4 times 1. So if I 4 times 1, does it give me 6? No, right? So I always look at the first one and decide what is behind. So if I have here, let's say if here I have like a 4, I have, what, glitching, okay, sorry. So I have like 4 times 1, and then how do I get to 6? What I need to know is here. So we all know 4 times 1 is 4, right? Means I plus 2, right? So if I plus 2 here, about 3. So if I plus 2 here, we will actually have 6, really, correct or not? So means my n term is plus 2 here, correct or not? So means I need to try whether does it work for my second one. So I try for my second n term. So this one. So means if I use 4 times 2, because figure number 2, and then if I plus 4 here, if I plus 2 here, do I get 10? Yes, I do get 10, right? So means this one work also. The first one also work because this one was 6, this one is 10. So normally to check whether is it confirm correct or not, what I need to do is I need to do a third one. So third one, let's say I'm doing this one. So what I have here is basically 4 times 3, and then I plus 2. So I get 14. So yay, means I found my n term. Means I can use 4n plus 2 here. So similarly for this one, I can plus 1 also, because I can see that for first one is actually 7 times 1 plus 1, I get 8. Yeah, so what we can do here is that, because I have limited space, I'm going to create some space here so that you can see clearer. So what I have here is basically for my parameter. Just now we already found that our parameter, the n term, is equals to 4n plus 2. So meaning that when we actually want to find, let's say figure 1, we have 1, like we have 4 times 1 plus 2, and then we have, oh my god, plus 2, and then we have like 6, and then if I jump to, let's say some of you all actually like maybe don't have time already in exam, you no time to go down one by one, maybe you jump to, you skip one and then you see whether it's correct or not. Like because we are just testing the n term, see whether is it okay or not. So as long as you have 2 or 3 that is correct, right, then the n term actually works. So this one we actually have like 14, so my n term works. So now it will actually help us to find b, or anything that I'll need to do to actually find my parameter. So in this case for b, they're asking for the parameter for figure number 50. So it's actually quite easy, what? So figure 50 with my n term, I can easily just sub in, right? Since my n is equals to 50, because we actually let n be the figure number. So what we have here is 50 for the figure number, and then we know that we are going to take 4 times 50, and then we're going to plus 2. So meaning my n term in this case will lead me to my answer for b, even though it's figure 50. I do not need to list all the way until figure 50. So I have 202. So that's my answer for it. So maybe you'll actually say that, oh, then what about the next one here? The one that is somewhere for here. what I have here is actually plus 7, right? Just now what we have 7, we have 7, and then we have 29 here. So what we have here for the red one, then how? Can you explain again what is n term? So just now I already say, so in this case, if I'm finding stick, right? So we already say that as long as there's a constant change, right, my n term will follow the constant change. In this case, is 7. So 7n. Yeah, because normally if it's constant change, I can straight away put the n beside the change, which is in this case 7. And then I will need to see, then how do I do and find figure 1? So I would always go to figure 1 and decide what do I do behind my 7n. It can be a minus, it can be a plus. Sometimes it can also means that my 7n maybe still need to times or something. So we see our figure 1 to decide what happened. So for this one, the figure 1 quite straightforward. So we have actually 8. So means if I have figure 1, it means 7 times 1, right? So I need to plus 1 then it will become 8. Am I correct or not? So means my figure, my n term here means I have to plus 1. So to double check if I'm correct or not, let's say maybe I find, I'm not sure whether can you see because it's going quite bottom. Let me pull it up a bit. So here is 8, right? So if I go to, let's say, figure number 4, if I want to double check if it's like correct or not, I can don't go by order. Yeah, because order maybe you have to try 3 times. If you jump a bit, maybe you try 2 times is enough. If you really no time. But if you have time, just go try 3 times. But I know that it's always the last question. Some students really just no time anymore. So what we can do is we try maybe the third one or the fourth one, we jump a few. So fourth one means figure number is 4, means 7 times 4, and I plus 1 as well to test my n term correct or not. So voila, I got 29. So means my n term works. So if my n term works, right, means I can easily find any number they want for the stick. Let me see whether what they want. So yeah, sure enough, they ask for the number of stick in figure 100. So if they ask for the number of stick for figure 100, so what I will need is that figure 100. So if it's figure 100, means I straight away 100n and then we know that we are going to we straight away know that it's like 7n and then plus 1, right? Because just now we already have the n term already. So straight away I can take 100 times 1 times 7 and then I plus 1 and then I get 701. Yeah, because I mean if you don't learn your n term, for the figure 50, figure 100 confirm cannot do already, because you can't be listing until 100. If you want to list to 100, I think you have to give up on the question because it's taking too much time and it's normally only 2 marks or 1 mark for that one part. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether do you all follow for this one. I'll go through the one last part, which I think we'll be using our parameter. So if no question, I will blanco off all the red part because I do not need the stick number to find my D and I need the space. If there's no further question, then I will move on. So D, what they say is, given that a figure have a parameter of 254, find the number of square in this figure. So if I want to find the number of square, still remember just now we say what about the relationship between the figure number and square here. The figure number, which is also the n term, right? In this case, is actually equals to the number of square in this question, because you see that there's direct relationship, because 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 for the highlighted part that you can see in yellow. So now how do I actually find if I know that my parameter is actually 254? Still remember our parameter just now, our n term for parameter is actually equals to, what is this, 4n. We have 4n and then we plus 2, correct or not? And then we know that now this parameter, right, the total parameter is equals to 254. So means I need to solve it as an algebra equation lah. So means I have like 4n plus 2 and then equals to 254. And this kind of question for D, if you don't know n term, is confirm cannot do. Yeah, because you need to have the algebraic equation to actually solve it out. Yeah, some students they have some unique method that they actually try to mentor sum or they try to do their own way, but it might not be 100% correct because like not tested and proven. Yeah, so this one if you use n term and if you can understand n term, right, is a confirm will get correct one. Yeah, so but you must know how to use it because there's different varieties. I don't have that much time in one session to go through every single thing. Yeah, if you're actually keen, you can actually join us for our booster class. I'll be going through all the series of different kind of number pattern. Like I do know there's constant difference, there's alternate difference, like maybe 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4 again for the different patterns. Or there could be some that the first one that plus 4, second one plus 5, third one plus 6, that kind of thing. So there's different kind. I cannot do the higher order one all in one session. Like student will get very confused. I will start with this one first. I hope you are still following till now. So we have like 4n equals to 254. What I have here is I have a 2 on the left side. So some students they very confused. When the left side bring to the right side, right? I always say that you have to become minus. You become the opposite. Yeah, if you cannot understand, remember it. Have to know it by now already because have to learn it for part and unit also. So what we have here is 252. So 252, if I want to find one n, which is if I find one n already, then straight away, I think I get my answer already, right? So if I'm able to find one n, so my n will be equals to 252 divided by 4. So anyone can give me answer for this one? I get 81. 83, right? So that's sum up my number pattern for this question. Yeah, then I think I have time for one more walk backwards. So I hope that until now it's still quite clear for you all. Like, thank you for joining us for the full video today. If you do not wish to miss out on our next upcoming mathematics video, please click on the bottom button to subscribe to our channel and click on to the notification button next to it. We hope that you have learned a brand new kind of methods to actually solve your next 4 and 5 marks question that could be coming on your next exam. If you want to learn more of such techniques, please follow us on Facebook as well. Our Facebook page is PSLE Mathematics Hub. You can actually upload questions that you might need us to help you as well. We welcome you to upload questions. We will pick 3 or 5 questions per week to go through on YouTube here. We have upcoming free webinars and free tutorials as well. Please follow us on PSLE Mathematics Hub. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.